Hello, Dragons. It's me, Dr. Crespo, your school dad. We missed you guys. I hope everybody's staying safe out there during these very unprecedented times that we have going on right now. We wish you were here, but most of all, we want to make sure that you are safe. So listen to what the government is saying, listen to what CDC is saying, practice your social distancing, but also make sure that you understand the procedures that we have in place for online learning and packet pickup if you do not have access to the internet at home. So a couple things I want to talk about. When you do come up, we're going to change the procedures just a little bit. Previously, we had specific times when parents or students were able to come up over in the bus loop in the front of the school to pick up your packets if you did not have online learning accessibility. Now, we do not have that anymore because of the stay-at-home order. So right now, starting on Mondays at 8 a.m. every Monday, that's going to be the time when you can start coming up to pick up your paper copy packets for the work that you need to do in your classes. Now, that does not mean that everybody has to come at the same time. We want to make sure that's spread out throughout the day. If you drive up and you see a bunch of cars up here and a bunch of people that are out picking up paper copies, just leave and come back later in the day. It doesn't have to be all picked up on Monday. You do have some time throughout the week that you can pick up the work, but just make sure you pick up your work within that week, at least at the latest, I would say by Wednesday, so you can have the work, get it done, and turn it in on time. And we'll talk about how to turn in paper packet copies in just a second. So if you are coming up without your child, it's very important that you have a copy of your student's schedule. So make sure your student has given you a list of their schedule. Write it down on a piece of paper so when you come up, you can just check off each class as you pick up those paper copies, and you know that you have all the materials that you need for your student. If you ask your student what their schedule is and they tell you, I don't know, that's fine. Make sure you email the counselor for that grade level that you do not have your student's your student's schedule, and they will tell you what your student's schedule is so you have that ready to go when you do come up to the school to pick up the paper copies. So the paper copies are going to be available here in the breezeway. If you want to take a look over here, we have them set up in the breezeway in front of the main office on the main campus. All right, so make sure you can either park on the side by Appleby Sand Road, or you can park in front by the bus loop, or you can park all the way over by the stadium if you'd like, anywhere you want to park. But it's going to be here in the front main entrance area in this breezeway. Okay, one thing, if you do have online accessibility, if you have online access at home through your phone, through your Xbox, through your PlayStation, through a computer or laptop, we really emphasize the importance of using the online resources for your work. I know some of y'all have come up to get paper copies as well as doing online, and that's fine because I know some of the accessibility is not always strong in every part of Nacogdoches. So if you need to come get paper copies along with your online, that's fine as well. But if you do have online access and you're stable most of the time, I prefer that you work on your work online, because a lot of teachers are doing a lot of the assignments on there, and it's quicker, and you have better access on getting help with that work with your teachers. So let's go ahead and walk down so we can take a look at these paper stands that were provided by the Daily Sentinel. So thank you, Daily Sentinel, for providing these paper stands that are available for our kids to pick up their paper packets. So starting off over here, we have CTE. So we have 4 stands for CTE. So you have to look at your CTE elective course and see who your teacher is. So each one of these says CTE, and it has a list of teachers that are in that particular stand, that newspaper stand. So you just kind of go around, which one is my teacher, okay, and then I go and I open that box, and we'll talk about that in just a second. So you have 4 CTE stands. Then we have one for foreign language. That is your Spanish, your French, your ASL. We also have one for PE, health, team leadership, and speech. We're going to walk down over here, past the auditorium, past the front office, heading towards the main cafeteria. And we have a box over here for fine arts. That's your art classes, your theater, choir, band. Okay, those are your courses. We have another box over here for ESL, and that is for your English as second language learners. We also are going to be putting our Read 180 assignments in here. So if you have a reading class with Miss York, or Coach Blake or Mr. Doyle, then you will get your work here for Read 180. Okay, so that's for that. And then over here we have your core, you have your social studies, you have your science on this side over here, English, math, and science. Okay, so this is what you're going to do. When you come to the Breezeway, you're going to go to the classes that you need. So let's say you want to get your English class. I'm going to walk over to this English box, and I'm going to pull it open. Inside, you're going to see a stack of papers. And in these trays, you're going to see a label that's going to tell you which class exactly. So right here we have English 3, English 4, and we're going to add some more to these. But you're going to see in English, it's going to have English 1, English 2, English 3, English 4, and then pre-AP accessibility on there. So once you're in here, let's say I'm in English 3, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to pull this packet for English 3, close it, I'm done with that. And then I'm going to go over to the next class, and so on. So that is how you pick up the work. So once you're done, you're checking off your classes, you're checking off your schedule, making sure that you have all the materials that you need. Now, what do I do if I finish the work? Where do I turn it in? When do I turn it in? Once you complete the work, you can come over to this Breezeway at any time during the week to turn in the work. You have to turn it in the following week. So if you picked up work on Monday, when you start picking up work for next week, then you have that same week to turn in the work, because the following Monday, we're putting new material in, and any work that's been turned in, that's going to be collected by that weekend. All right, so if you have work to turn in, so you say, okay, I got to turn in some English work. We're going to have these bins over here, look just like this. They're going to be labeled English, math, or science. You're just going to come in here, you're going to pull it out, open, you're going to close it, and you're done. But make sure that you're putting it in the correct subject. You don't just put all your big stack of work into one box. It has to go into the correct subject. So we'll have those labeled by subject: English, math, science, social studies, etc. So another thing about when you turn in your work, don't just take the packet and the paperwork that you have and just put it in the box and you think everything is good. You have to make sure that you write your name on it and you write your teacher's name on it. So that way, when it is collected, we know who to give it to and then who to assign the grade to once the teachers are grading that work. So make sure when you have work to turn in on a paper copy that you write your name and you write your teacher's name into that packet before you put it into the box. Okay guys, that's all the information I have right now. I know it's been about a month or so since we've seen each other, so here we go. It's a great day to be alive. It's a great time to be a dragon. At NHS, you matter. Believe in the possibilities of being great, treat each other the way you want to be treated, and never be satisfied, as there is always an opportunity to be a better version of yourself. Be safe out there. We miss you guys, and as always, go Dragons.